And you don't touch the little yellow thing because that'll break. Otherwise the bulb isn't breakable. And then you put one foot on and the other foot on. And if it's too strong with both feet, you just have one foot on. So take off your shoes, Linda, because you're going to do it. Okay, so then you take one foot off and the other foot off, and you put the bulb down. Okay, so Linda's going to...
Is that really strong right now?
It's not really strong. It's fine.
What is your concern?
Curl my hair.
Oh. You don't want your hair curled, huh?
Okay. Okay. Now pick up the bulb. Okay, so maybe you need two hands. Okay. Okay, now put one foot down and the other foot down. Okay, how's that?
Okay.
Okay. So are you, okay. This is my story. This is called a molecular enhancer. And about 25 or 30 years ago, I had a girlfriend who had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And she thought this would help her. She got it and started using it. And her cancer cells went down and her immune system went up. And I was visiting her and I tried it. I actually tried it at night and it kept me up all night. I just tried it a little bit. And I thought, well, I'm going to get one. There's nothing wrong with me. But at that time it was only $500 and I thought, I'm going to get one.
What is it called?
It's called a molecular enhancer. It's Dan Dial's molecular enhancer. So
you got
what
one?
it does, I'll tell you what it does. It puts energy into your body so your body can heal itself. So my experience was, I used it for a few weeks, and then I noticed, oh, I had hurt my ankle, and I thought I'm always going to have problems with my ankle. And then all of a sudden, after a few weeks, my ankle was fine. And so I realized it was from the molecular enhancer. I've had different experiences over the years, and I have different people who have had different experiences, which I will discuss. Okay. One of my friends, who's a nurse, he had had pancreatic cancer many years ago, and he had lesions and stuff in his stomach, and at this point he was losing a lot of weight, he was nauseous, vomiting, and he was going to have to go to Stanford and have surgery. So I said to him, come over and use my molecular enhancer. So he came over and he used it for about a half an hour, and he said, oh, I'm not nauseous, I'm hungry. So I said, well, let me give you something to eat. And he said, no, I want to go home and eat. So I have 3 machines and I loan out 2 of them to people. So I said, borrow one of my machines. And I brought it over, he started using it, he gained 10 pounds, he wasn't nauseous, no vomiting, didn't have to have surgery. And then somebody else needed it, he gave it to her, and he's fine. I mean, he's doing really, really well. Okay. One of my experiences was I had cancer right above my eye, and it went really deep, and the doctor was going to have all morning to go in and use Mohs, where you go in and you take up a little bit and then see if you got it all and then keep going in. So he thought it would take a long time because he set out in the morning. So I went in, and he went in, and he looked, oh, okay. So then, between the time he diagnosed it, I used the molecular enhancer 3 hours a day until the time he did the surgery 6 weeks later. And when he went in to do the surgery, he couldn't find any cancer. So I told him about the molecular enhancer, but of course he poo-pooed it. Okay. My other cancer experience is I had a long melanoma. here and then on my arm. And the doctor examined it, and it was only in situ, which means it wasn't even stage 1. It was just on the outside of the leg. It's not going in. So I called, and it was a lot, so you knew it had been there for a long time. So I called Dan Dial, who's the one who made that, and he said, oh, that happens to me also, but it's always in situ. Because of the molecular enhancer, it doesn't go into your body.
Okay.
Now, another experience I had is I had hip surgery. And there was someone who had a molecular enhancer. She had hip surgery, and she didn't use her molecular enhancer. And she had the usual pain, and it took a while to recover. And with the second hip, she used the molecular enhancer 3 hours a day before for 2 weeks and 2 hours a day after for 2 weeks. And when she had her second hip done, she had no problems, no pain, could walk right away. So when I was going to have my hip surgery, I did the same thing for about 3 weeks. I used it 2 hours a day before and had the surgery, and then I used it right after because I was only there overnight. And when I went in, had the surgery, I didn't need any pain medication. I could get up right away. The only thing is they wanted me to use a walker because they were afraid I would fall. And that happened with the first hip and with the second hip. No, I never took any pain medication, nothing. So,
How does this work exactly? What is she doing there?
okay, she's holding a glass ball that's unbreakable, and I know because I've dropped it on,
A few times.
yeah, on cement.
Oh.
But my boyfriend stepped on it on the yellow part and it broke, so I had to get a new one. It's filled with neon gas, and it is connected to copper. And then she has her feet on aluminum. So copper has a certain wavelength, and aluminum has another wavelength. And the combination of the two puts different wavelengths in your body, so you have all different wavelengths. And they go into like a cell, and whatever that cell needs, that wavelength or frequency, that cell takes. And that's how it works. And so you have the whole range, so whatever your body needs, it gets. And you can't overdo it. I mean, you can't get too much of it.
So how often do you do this just if you're feeling good?
Well, it just depends on the day. I mean, if I'm watching a television program, I could do it for an hour or two. And if, I'd like to do it for 5 minutes, or some days I don't even do it. If I have an issue, I would do it, very, very regularly. But I actually try and do it every day. There was a man who had brain cancer. He used it 8 hours a day to get rid of his brain cancer.
It's worth it.
Oh yeah, totally.
So,
Pardon? Can you get off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Okay, let me tell
so
you what you do. Let me see. You take your feet off first.
hold on, can I ask you how that's feeling for you?
It's feeling just a little tingly all over the place.
Okay,
Okay.
why don't you just put one foot on and see if that's better for you? And leave your other foot off. Can you put your other foot someplace? Oh, okay. No, but if how's that? Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you put your other foot or somehow move, turn
Or put the
chair?
left foot down.
Yeah,
Okay, there you go.
See, that way, it's really working on you, and then eventually it'll be less and you can have both feet on. But right now, your body needs it and it's strong.
Yeah. That's probably it. Because I have pain on my right hip. It feels like sciatica, but it's deep muscular pain, And what I was feeling was that Mary just worked on my left shoulder. And right now Feels good.
Good.
Yeah.
Your shoulder feels
Like it enhances it a little bit,
Uh-huh.
See, proactive health works. You get results, don't you?
Yeah.
It can be a long journey or a shorter journey, just depending on how motivated and how willing you are to participate. And there's plenty of natural health facilitators to educate us on all this stuff, that it's available for choice. So is there any way to get a hold of you, Nancy, if anybody has any questions or...
Well,
or
I'll tell
no?
you my phone number is 1-805-460-6136. That's my home phone. My cell phone is 1-805-748-3231.
So can I ask you about your history, what your education is, and what you do? You do some essential oils too, don't you?
Yeah, I do doTERRA essential oils, and that totally is very healing too. Totally. I use those so that I'm 73, and it keeps me totally not having Alzheimer's, keeping my brain clear. With frankincense, you put that, it goes right to your brain. And I use the other oils for all different issues.
So what is your educational history?
I have a bachelor's degree in chemistry from Cornell University. I have 2 masters, one in nutrition from Drexel University, one in education from Temple University, and I have a PhD in nutrition science from UC Davis. And I'm a registered dietitian.
So Nancy knows what she's talking about, and she's a blessing to all of us because she's willing to share. How about it, Linda?
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right,
Yes.
thank you, Nancy, and I'll catch you on another video.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for sharing. Bye-bye.
Bye.